We'll see how things go. You know, it's a real difficult sort of matchup for PERA, but at the same time, they've already shown that they can be the giant killers, as it were. So very much excited to get into this one. I think we should be into the game relatively quickly here by the sound of the voice in my ear, I would imagine. But yeah, very much looking forward to breaking into this one. There we go, into the game itself. Ancient underway as Apeks kick off on that CT side as well. Their CT side yesterday were pretty solid. It was actually more the T sides that impressed me. So we'll see if that continues to be the case here today. Might not be an official live by the looks of things, with everyone just chilling in the spawn at the moment.
There we go.
So a bit of a restart, but we shouldn't be too long here.
So, we get on the way, of course, Apeks on that CT side, like you mentioned. I did like the T side, what we saw out from Apeks. They were very good at controlling the tempo. I think, but also the other side, as much as Apeks were good at controlling the tempo, they weren't actually too aggressive on the CT side against Pompa yesterday, because they didn't need to be. Pompa, we spoke about this a lot. They play an incredibly slow T side, and it's too slow. I like the idea. It just never works. Like, not once throughout that entire series. They tried to play for these kind of last 20-second executes, something that, you know, made Na'Vi so good back in like 2021. They couldn't do it. And Apeks was so easily able to just shut it down. But we're on the way. PERA on the T side. Let's see what they've got. They're already early in towards Donut.
Oh, sense. Trying to find something in towards A main. It was all a bait setup, though, for jkaem. We'll see here, though. It's a very quick retake move coming in from Apeks. They do it with a man advantage and a couple of sets of Julies. They've retrieved a Molotov there, so I guess that's nice. They're all here in pretty good time. Flash going to come over the top, and the burst in will begin. Decent Molotov as well, clearing off a good number of angles. MSN with a nice headshot onto one. Loses his head round the corner to kick and tap onto the bottom. Going to force some peeks here. No kills coming in just yet for the T side. 3 remain. Oh, they are closing the gap on the Cube players. This is going to be an absolute bloodbath. There's DJL, though. Perfect timing for him to come through and to find the frag on the defuser. Doesn't matter how this kill goes, because the round is over. DGL, perfect timing, sneaky little boy out from A main. They did not expect him at all.
Not bad at all. Great in the post bomb, fair play. And you give it to CacaNito. Just keep an order of what he's got. Make sure that he stays alive, because there was no time for him on the retake. No kit, no chance. Simple and effective. A little bit puggy, but I think that's how PERA have kind of got to find success. It's got to be down to these slightly puggier rounds of Counter-Strike. So I'm all for it. Little wild, little wacky. PERA going to find a nice full buy in towards round number 2. Got the double AK out, triple Galil. Not that much utility. So they're playing for just raw angels here, which arguably I kind of respect as well.
Walking their way into A here should be take even a small waste of the utility, we might argue, if we were being technical. But, case here. They'll obviously try and throw themselves at this on the Apeks side, hopefully get a kill, something along those lines, but not going to be winning the round, of course, and we didn't really expect them to, so it's fair. It is indeed fair. But liking what we're seeing from PERA, you know, got some good protocols in place. Simple stuff so far, but I think we're very happy with what these guys might be able to deliver.
Nice, he's there for Camion for a couple. Oh yeah, that will answer back, and they just mow them down. Flawless, barely taking damage as well. That's what it's all about. PERA, nice start. It's got to be said to their map pick. Again, just to reiterate for those just joining us, this is PERA's map pick, but it's also traditionally a go-to first pick for Apeks. So it's a slightly worrying veto in a sense. It just feels quite risky. But hey, so far that risk is paying off in the opening double. Apeks though into their first full buy. This is where we get an actual true test of this team's all about.
One for one. In towards A main. Kind of need to patch that hole. I know that the movement isn't going to be super fast, but the A-bomb site is quite open for Apeks. PERA somewhat unaware of that fact, though. They will drop back. That's sort of the joy of an A main push. You know, it's like, is there someone else there? Is there heavy cube presence? What's the deal? So A nice little move overall. jkaem's patience here. Super patient, in fact. I think in the past we may well have seen go for a swing. He's going to make the move. Oh, it's a little awkward for him, though. 1-for-1 isn't the end of the world. A lot of damage done as well.
Yeah, this is the big problem. I think when you look at it, Camion, Aaron, both in that one bullet headshot potential, and there is exactly that. Kicksan going to find Camion. The RGL stepping up. Oh, he didn't spot the cubby. So DGL got a little bit of space to work with, but he will not clear Nork. Bomb dropped. Aaron left all alone. He's a masterclass now, and they're going to come through. And Aaron's making this a possibility. 1v3 turned 1v1. And a smoke over towards CT. He's got time to speak of. Little does he know, the youngster of Sense has already crossed, reclaimed some space. Aaron might not be aware that Sense is out on towards the site itself, and Aaron's going to win it. What a 1v3. Aaron has gone nuclear. That's an insane way to close the round.
All right, love to see it. PERA bringing the competition to Apeks then. It isn't going to be the smooth sailing that maybe they were expecting, particularly on a map like you say that, oh, we've got some comfort on, you know, and losing a clutch like that is going to set the pace, is going to set the tone in particular, right? You really have to do well to bounce back. PERA, meanwhile, I think are so motivated for this qualifier. Very much hoping we get more of that out from Aaron.
Aaron masterclass of a round. To see. Aaron definitely one of the players we're going to keep an eye on heading in towards this game. Statistically speaking, been having a really good time under the PERA banner. A really nice round, of course, from him. So, unfortunately for Apeks, this puts them down at some pretty janky finances. Only the one MP9, a few pistols to speak of. They break out towards A, and the 5-7 will find one through the smoke.
Not bad. Got to watch these pistols now, to be fair. A lot of them in pretty close vicinity to the A bomb site. One going to go down. Oh, wild attempt there from Kicksan. Thought he could catch a player, but not to be. Oh, goodness. The MP9, worst weapon for that, but he does manage to make it work. Not ready for the play around the corner. But while all this has been happening, damage has been done, kills have come in.
Oh my.
It's just Poya to save the day. Not another one. 2 so far, 1 more to go. And he knows, with it being a bit of an eco round, they are unlikely to have a kit. He's taking his time here, trying to play the bomb, and I think he may well have won the round. Here's some footsteps coming his way. Sense will take him, but the round is saved. Not quite as flashy as Aaron's, but yet another clutch coming in.
Yeah, it's got to be said. It's a sigh of relief, I think, that PERA closed that one out, but a low buy of Apeks, 1 MP9 and a few pistols. They're walking away with all 5 kills and an AK saved over, so I think Apeks, while 4-0 down right now, they can actually take a bit of a silver lining out of that. They've definitely knocked the kind of confidence a little bit out of the sails of PERA, who have been kind of flying so far. They've been having a whale of a time. That time, not so much. Way more expensive than it should have been. Still is a 4-0 start for PERA. Apeks back into a full by both sides, wielding an AWP in towards the next. EGL, let's see what he can do against the big man of Nork.
Oh, nice shot. Nice shot on the orb there. Brilliant opener onto the bomb side. CacaNito pushed into an awkward spot. Actually does relatively well, I would say, to even find one from there. I don't think they really have a chance of getting back in here. Ooh, there's a gap for jkaem. A bit awkward the way the smoke has landed here. I think on top of them. Molotov, jkaem. Looking for a little bit more. Pete comes in. Doesn't quite find the success. Aaron left incredibly low. 3 versus 3. Not out of the question. Fighting at middle is a big deal. It will go the way of the T side. But at the moment, they know EGL is all alone in towards the ramp. Caught out in the open. They can now just get on the bomb. Kid available. Oh, goodness. Camion tries to work his way in. jkaem takes him. A huge round from jkaem. And Apeks getting there first.
Really nice retake as well, has to be said. jkaem, he's played that to perfection. Had a lot of fun with that round. 3 kills to his name. Center 1 as well. 2 remaining alive is what it's all about. 4-1 scoreline. Apeks off the board on a map in which they're comfortable with. They've got to make sure they put up a strong CT side, though. One of the more CT-sided maps in the pool for a long time was the most CT-sided map in the pool. So Apeks got to make sure they do at least a fairly okay-ish job Don't let PERA build upon what is already a relatively strong lead. jkaem taking tags with the smoke, though. Not great. And PERA's sort of half by here. Could be a little bit more dangerous than they'd hope, but because CacaNito's not going to be able to fall back.
Rough. It's definitely rough to deal with. Ooh. Nice shot from nawwk. Minute and 20, a lot of action so far, isn't there? Trying to get some presence outside of B. It has really quietened up after those first couple of kills, just keeping Apeks guessing at the end of the day, and they're not super sold on a B hit. You know, you can see these players are in a position to rotate quickly. So it could be a guaranteed bomb plan for PERA. With a nice smoke, they could indeed. However, what's the bomb doing all the way over there, fellas? You know, they can't really move forward until someone gets that bomb.
Let's ask a couple of questions. What is going on right now? We'll get out on towards the site, not without it being a little bit expensive, though. 1 for 1. MSN going to find one with our Mac 10. Looking for more as well. Got the tags. That's information gain. Bomb will go down.
Three on two. Looking good for PERA with a squeeze of a lead here. They managed to make it work. Oh, man, this would be a heck of a round to be losing. It looks pretty likely, to be honest. nawwk with a nice catch, but now he's all alone. No HP. He grabs his AWP, and he's going to indeed get out. He will indeed make it across. So, yeah, that's very unfortunate for Apeks. They were up against the weaker buy. PERA make it work, despite some weirdness with where the bomb was at, etc. PERA looking pretty good here, I have to say.
I gotta agree. They're actually playing some really nice Counter-Strike. That was very good in terms of the mid-round. They looked a little lost for a second, but I think it was more a case of also the other side of purposely not making a decision, seeing where the gaps open up, and they found a pretty nice one. With Apeks, we're going to see a tactical pause being called here. Good opportunity as well for Mytha, the coach of towards Apeks, to come into the conversation, see what he's seen so far. Let it be known to the rest of the team, and of course, when we kick Sands, just take a breather, have a conversation with the boys so far. They had a very easy run out yesterday in that second best of 3. It was done. Basically, both maps are done within kind of like an hour 10. It was pretty quick as a series goes. So I need to see maybe what they can do to rectify the situation right now, because PERA are playing pretty well. Very confident. Of course, it's working. And the big thing is now that Apeks have to try and cut this off. They can't allow PERA to build up too much of a lead in this first half, or it might be a bit too tough to try and clamber back in their favor on the T side.
Oh, jkaem out in the open. He's got some support, though. Flashes are not good from PERA. Mid-aggression's not worked out, which usually it is a T side that find success from there. It's very difficult for CTs, but they were very, very ready on the Apeks side of things. A 2-man advantage now coming in. They have missed the cross of Aaron here, so jkaem has to be careful. Oh, making a lot of noise. I don't know. Aaron might go for this in a moment. All the same, Apeks in a good spot.
It's a bit quiet. Aaron bomb in hand. He'll hear this information. It's more a decision of what do they want to do with it. He starts to be pretty wary of someone pushing out a donut too. He's focused towards red just because of the jump and he can air across. That is the low player, jkaem. When does he decide to swing? Well, after he hears him running away.
Aaron. Oh. Not being seen. So he will get the freebie, but now, of course, his position going to be known. Awkwardly as well, he's got the bomb. Ooh. Yeah, so it's a bit of a tough one there. Nice double spray down from CacaNito as well. Apeks making that one look a bit easy. However, PERA still with a pretty good lead. But the way that the past few rounds have gone, a little bit of the blessing in disguise, is that PERA have actually run out of money quite quickly.
Yeah.
So, and they are forced into a buy here as well to just sort of even out the economy. So a good chance for Apeks to find 3, then maybe 4, and suddenly the gap closes, right?
Exactly that. And I think as well, you know, those earlier rounds, like the one in which Apeks didn't win the round before, but they got all the kills, the pistols. these are these kind of knock-on effects here. One AK already dead to the hands of jkaem. Needs to be recollected, but jkaem gonna make it a double, and now they're gonna start to converge on the area.
Yeah, I like it. Just show that you're not going to go quietly into these rounds. Really, really good stuff from Apeks. We've actually not seen a lot of aggression from them the past couple of rounds. They got aggressive in mid last round, you remember? We actually have. And it's been going well, I was going to say, but Camion from mid has really done the damage. Still doesn't feel like it's going to be enough, though. You know, we have, what, a combined HP of just under 100? Mm-hmm. So, well, I think it's literally 99, isn't it? Yeah, okay. I was trying to do the quick maths, and then there was some big numbers in there, Nao, so I just sort of threw in a guess. But either way, easy spray downs coming in. Apeks will clean up house.
Yes, and sees it off there as well. There's a little kind of a 1-2 punch coming through Cave as well. So even if Sense are only able to go 1-for-1, the trade would have been there. Simple, pretty effective. It's an easy 5-3. Apeks closing the gap bit by bit, making something of this, at least making it a little bit more of a closer affair than it initially looked at one point. There is definitely reservations maybe about PERA letting this slip a little bit. Of course, money not good for them, so realistically Apeks should go within one relatively scot-free, but you kind of can see how on your mini-map there, PERA heading in the direction of A, at least slowly. There's only one there. It's more than AWP. That can be overwhelmed if he's not careful.
So far, though, they are incredibly passive on this PERA side of things. No real presence anywhere. Looks maybe like they want to try towards A main. I think they're just, you know, talking things over and using a bit of their time in a more effective manner. No flash or anything, right? They've literally just got the 1P250, which is a wing and a prayer at the end of the day. So I don't know. Maybe try and show some presence on B to just distract players off of A for like a split second. But as the smoke goes down, they're advanced on the Apeks side. They're not playing like a retake setup or anything like that. So it's easy. It's easy for Apeks here.
jkaem sees it off. Not bad. Not too bad at all. Of course, the big thing of making sure that it's not expensive in any way. I think for Apeks now, the important thing about them, not only putting rounds on the board, you know, consecutively, but just building up that stability in terms of their funds. If they were on the edge of going into ecos, kind of the way PERA are at the moment, it kind of feels, for lack of a better term, perilous. And they have to be a little bit worried about it. Thankfully, TZ have got a buy to speak of. AK's in play. Not a whole lot of youth, though. We're off in terms of a post-spawn. Sense spamming through that smoke in toward Red Room. Just respect it for now.
jkaem, nice advanced position here. Trying to find a head above the smoke. I don't think there's really going to be one that presents itself. To be honest, there's not really that much B presence at all. Sense has to be careful. jkaem finds his kill outside of B there, and will indeed reveal that there's nobody else around. To be honest, they are very weary of middle. Sense gets taken down. nawwk doing a decent enough job to find one. Kixan a little loud, but it's jkaem behind him. Capitalizes on the damage done by his fallen comrades. nawwk with a nice find onto DGL. And incredibly quickly here, Apeks have brought it to 5-5.
I'm liking what I'm seeing. This is a really nice little run of form now. Apeks are playing some pretty scary Counter-Strike these last few rounds. And this is what it's all about. You know, it's all well and good PERA starting well, but if they can't find success in these kind of gun rounds, this is going to be the tail of the tape when it comes towards Ancient. Right now, of course, it's a worrying sign. I think for PERA, they know how quickly Apeks can take over a game, and that is what we're seeing at the moment. jkaem's molly, giving him all the room, giving him the easiest opening kill in the world as Cami almost full blind.
CacaNito just got to be careful here, right? You want to be winning these rounds as flawlessly as possible. There we go. Deagle, can't get it done. Once again, taking them a bit of time, but Apeks have really woken up. They unfortunately put PERA in a terrible, terrible economic position in the past sort of 3 or 4 rounds, right? And no bomb plants from PERA means that there really hasn't been much of an opportunity to sort of get the half buys out or whatever. So it's rough in this sort of 6-round span. I feel like PERA have only had 2 buys, maybe. You know, they really have been screwed over economically.
You're right. You are right. And I think it is one of those things as well. Right now for PERA, they realize how much they kind of have let this one slip quite considerably. Fortunately, looked like a tech pause more than anything else. Hopefully, only a brief one. But yeah, right now, of course, for Apeks, what a good run of form. They have been absolutely flying. Heading into the final round too for them, you look at this in a good situation. If they could take a 7-5, they are absolutely loving life in the server. It would be pretty damn massive, just on the offset as well of how rough things started. We were kind of saying earlier, coming into this game, it seemed like yesterday, Apeks did a lot of their best work on the T side, right? So I feel like already for them of putting up a pretty solid CT, or at least in my eyes, solid CT in terms of the recovery. Now with T side being one of their best sides, at least so far this qualified, they're in a good position. Of course, we are back to our cameras so briefly as we have a little tech issue.
Yeah, well, you know, it's nice to change things up once in a while and not just be staring at the screen and players swapping knives and selling utility and rebuying utility and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, it gets us on and you can have a good look at yourself, make sure you're looking okay, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, and I feel it.
Yeah,
I feel it.
Yeah. How are you feeling about the Movember growth? You know, what do you reckon?
I was quite worried. I grew. I remember during COVID, I grew out like all my facial hair, and this was before I basically like could only grow a neck beard. I couldn't really grow anything on the upper lip, so I looked homeless, like really bad. So I was quite worried that was going to happen again. But thankfully, I've got at least a little bit of something. It's not
well,
awful.
That is it. Like the more you shave, ultimately, the thicker it'll grow. You know? It's not an exact science, but that's kind of how it goes. Like I, for years, had mustache okay, you know, the sort of goatee area, the under the neck out, but like on my cheeks, it just wouldn't grow, so it kind of looked like I had a chin strap.
Yeah. I had the same.
You know, it just is a bit rough, and then all of a sudden, it's just started growing okay on my cheeks. It's not amazing, but you know, it's there. So, what can you do? Aggression coming in here as we kick into the final round of the first half. And it does go the way of CacaNito, having a pretty decent half himself. jkaem trying to get cheeky. Now, he's done that a couple times. And this time, Camion says, nah. But CacaNito's still around, and he continues to frag. The two of them, the B-boys, have really been playing well, it has to be said. jkaem has had a great couple of days, to be honest with you, right? He is just running rampant, being that sort of individualistic CT player. That's a bit of a rough one from CacaNito, but we've still got a solid advantage here for Apeks.
That's for sure. DGL. Holding for somebody to peek out of CT, but not being given that luxury. Kicks on. Nice and calm. Waits over for a rotation. He spams and the bomb go down. Aaron falls through the smoke. And now the AWP left all alone. He's traditionally one of the best players on this team in a little bit of a quiet game. This is going to be so damn difficult to find. What does he do? He can plant, and he will. Just go for a tap, trying to bait in a fight, which he gets. There's the first. Tap again. This time, he's going to stick it. DGL trying to set himself up for a 1v3. Doesn't stick the plant. I've been there. It was only a tap, and I'm going to go for another tap again. Waiting for the fight. This time he'll get it, and he missed short. He's in trouble. Looking for more isolated fight. Gets one or two cents, but has to reload. Running out of time, and Kingshan will see him off. My God, that was dicey. We'll see you all after the break.
Get no sleep. If you give me a sign, I'll be yours to keep. Just wanna say you're mine and make history.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Second half of the first map between Apeks and PERA, of course, here in the lower bracket. If you are just joining us in the tournament, you know, and have not necessarily been keeping up, yeah, this is a big one. Apeks, a bit of a surprise that they are down here, but so far looking pretty good. Took them some time. It's 5-0. We were like, okay, PERA, here we go, and then 7 in a row from Apeks. So it has been a keen little turnaround there. And as we mentioned at the start of this map, we were quite impressed by the Apeks T sides yesterday. So
for sure.
Expecting that to be the case here on Ancient.
We'll have to wait and see what things look like heading into, of course, our second half. But it's a really good recovery from Apeks all the same. They put up, like you mentioned, a very, very solid T side yesterday. It's where they did their best work. I think their CT side generally is actually just, it's pretty meta. It's pretty standard. But the T side was fun. And they're going to hit out towards B quickly.
Not bad at all. MSN behind the pillar. Maybe expecting to find one there, but just couldn't quite land the shots. The execute keeping the CTs firmly at bay here. No kit available. Just the Julies of Poya that we are expecting to activate a little later on into the round. Not going to be this first line of defense in the raid. Boss P250 goes down quite quickly. Sense flying in, unable to find anything. So a man advantage and a solid one now for the CT end. Someone on the bomb. Got to be dealt with. CacaNito can't make it past Aaron. So they've done it. PERA with a speedy retake. Finding all the frags.
Not bad. Not too bad at all for PERA. That's back-to-back pistols for them as well now. 2 for 2. In this map so far. Zero complaints. Zero complaints from what we've seen, at least at the moment. One round in it as well, of course, for Apeks. That bomb plant has facilitated a buy. Not exactly a dream one. They've got a quad Galil, 1 Mac 10, and a bit of util to speak of. Questions, of course, what can they do with it now? 2 smokes, one of which are already being used. Molotov and a flash. Not the greatest in terms of the util. In the direction of A.
I'm kind of a fan. A lot of teams like to play the retake, so, you know, it is going to put them under pressure. Long-range fight goes the way of the A1S, but the FAMAS falls. And, of course, Poya is left pretty low here. So, bomb site's going to fall. Bomb, indeed, to be planted. And as said, retake in full flow with no utility and no kit. Not going to be easy here for the CT side. Jacob's trying to get some free fire in, and he finds 2. Oh, pulls off a bit of an early reload, and it costs him his life. But a man advantage now for Apeks, looking so damn good. Keeps on coming. Poya's position known, and of course, as we know, he's 1 bullet from the grave. So he will back away, take the save, and the force goes the way of Apeks.
Nicely done as well. It's very, very important for them. They'll now set themselves into a pretty strong position, all things considered, of course. For PERA, they're not going to have a buy, really, to speak of, unless they try and match force for force. But I don't really... I mean, I guess I can't see the point in the sense that they've only got 1.4k. So actually, probably forcing is the only decision they've got to go for. They're in double eco territory. So, yeah, looking the other way, they kind of have to go in towards a force it. They're going to be in towards an eco regardless. So, why not? Try and do whatever you can. FAMAS going to come out and support. Couple of going to pistols. Double D and MSN's going to join with a Eagle of his own. Yes, he is. So 3 Deeks, 1 FAMAS is the buy around that saved M4. Fundamentally speaking, though, Apeks, good position for them to find a lot of success. And Jacob's got a nice little gap, which he finds the first and not the second. Camion, quick reactions, and still alive somehow.
Naughty. Very, very naughty indeed. B-bomb site is completely open, though, is the big thing here. Dixon is deep in there. A bit of pre-fire doesn't work for him. Going the way of the CT side. Poya continues to frag. Camion will fall. Norkia with the bomb has now been spotted. Should be able to get a plant, but actually waiting patiently for maybe a swing to come round, and there it is. Nearly takes him out, actually. I still fancy their chances here on the Apeks side of things. And their weaponry of HP. Of course, just a little bit of utility. If they're savvy to this flank, that would be good. Sense somewhat is. Oh, still wins that fight despite looking like he was going to get caught off guard. It's fallen apart pretty quickly there for the CT side. Well held by the Apeks boys, and they do indeed get it done.
Nice. Nicely done. Simple and effective. Apeks go 3 rounds ahead. Should be made 4 as well. So double digits more or less looming for them because of PERA. No cash on hand now. No guns to speak of. No upgrades or a possibility. All they can deal with is just pistols heading in towards this next round. This is another great kind of position to be in. We've got a couple of PT-50s, 1 flash. Yeah, it's not great, fundamentally speaking. I think for PERA, they realize, especially with how well they started towards this game, how much they've let it slip, and just as well how good Apeks can be at any sort of deficit, clawing it back in their favor. This is prime Apeks right now. CacaNito can make a lot of cash here, but gets no kills.
Yeah, that's a little awkward. But he's got a fair amount of info that they can work with, of course. Sensing very, very deep here. He's looking to make the cash. Okay, again, nicely played. The discipline from Apeks that we've seen is decent. Mac 10's going to make some money for Boya, though. He's having a nice second half. It just needs a bit more support from the rest of the squad at the end of the day. A couple of kills is not a bad result for PERA, of course, with minimal investment. They will concede the 10th, but that is to be expected.
Can we get anything? I mean, he's not far away from the action, but he's actually going to opt against it. There might actually be, well, there probably is some sort of an upgrade somewhere for him to kind of to speak of. He was hoping someone would come out of donut, and then maybe he could get a little tag. Bomber could see them off and all the rest, but unfortunately, don't give that luxury. I swear there is a gun down over towards ramp, but I don't know if he's got enough time to go and get it. It's going to be close. No, it doesn't. Should have gone a tad earlier. But in the end, does not really make a difference. 10-6, as we said. That was a bit of a throwaway round regardless. Apeks are always going to be winning that one. PERA, a true full buyout for them. The first one in this half, not a force. They've got to make this one stick. It kind of feels like now or never as well. If they don't, Apeks up to 11. They also get given a 12th as well. The game's more or less done at that point. And PERA, their own map pick goes pretty sour pretty quickly.
Camion, first one to chime in. Boya gets caught a little quick switching, unable to stay alive. So quick moves across here towards the A bomb site. Kills keep coming for Apeks. They're so good at this, actually, on the T side. This is one of the things. Pace change-ups, catching your opponents off guard. PERA trying to answer, you know, fight fire with fire, and it just hasn't worked. They don't have enough info. They don't have the good enough positioning to deal with it. And suddenly they find themselves, well, with no one left alive, but, you know, obviously very quickly there, in a matter of about 10 seconds, they went from 4 players to just 1.
Yeah, that's for sure. 11-6. It's, I feel like now we're into the realms of saying this might be on its last legs. I think, you know, if PERA not really having any sort of buy here, Apeks are going to be gifted a 12. Well, they should, at the very least. Chances are, odds are very high for them. And I think PERA, unfortunately, just aren't able to compete. Actually, what is probably the more simple part of the game, which is just the 50-50s. They're just not hitting their shots. And credit to Apeks, when they get hot, they're so difficult to stop. Jacob's with 20 kills. And Cassie's not doing too badly on 15 himself. The two big-name riflers towards Apeks are stepping up.
Certainly true. Certainly true. Nice pickup from Jacob there. Should be easy enough from here on in. We'll see. A little bit of an overwhelm towards mid. Ooh. And 2 quick kills for the pistols. Unable to retrieve any rifles, thank goodness, but still, that is a good sign. We'll see how these next few go. Sense with a risky peek, in my opinion, but he makes it work. CacaNito deep in towards B, loses his head. DGL having a nice round, gives it the old inspect the deagle after the frag, just because he's feeling good about himself. Man advantage still in favor of the CT side.
Yeah, not bad. Not at all. What still? I mean, of course, they haven't really got any upgrades to speak of, despite the kills. The bomb's still in play in the hands of nawwk. They're looking in the direction of A. It's all down to Boya. He's already had himself 1 kill. Needs another 2 before that rotation will probably come in. But hang on a second. Mid is starting to take in here. They might not be too akin to it. MSN's got a rifle, so DGL. And they're being flanked pretty quickly. This bomb will go down just about. And they're being able to have the set off. What was a misclose? None of those sense. That was so close to going south for Apeks. But they just about win it out in the 2v3.
Beautiful stuff. Apeks again performing so very well under the pressure. They will continue the trend. Definitely a fan of what we're seeing, I think. And again, it maybe takes them a bit of time to get rolling, but once they get their claws in, this team is incredibly hard to deal with. That is for damn sure. But we will see from here. Kixan going to open this round up, of course. nawwk will also make himself known. Looking really damn good. Aaron trying to be a hero. I think frustrated is the name of the game at the moment for PERA. They just can't catch a break on this CT side. It has been a long time since they've really had control of this game. You know, 6 rounds, sure. But 5 of those were the first 5 rounds of the game, right? And then they've had one sporadic round in there, which was the pistol. And yeah, when the rifles have been in play, when Apeks have gotten comfortable, as I say, it's just impossible to play against them.
You're spot on. There really hasn't been all too much to speak of from PERA for a long while. They went 4-0 up, remember. So it's been a rough run of form since then. Yeah, catches up Poya. DGL's all that is left, and unfortunately for him, a 1v5, despite how low nearly all of them are, it's just too big an ask. There's just no chance here. He's got himself one. It's a consolation, one for the stats, but it won't make too much of a difference to the round itself. Another to be collected on to CacaNito, dinks and drop 13-6. Apeks steal away PERA's map pick in a very dominant fashion. And it once again adds to what we were saying. It's a risky choice to go in towards Ancient. Scriv, that's also Apex's go-to first map.
Yeah, that's what you highlighted, right, in the veto, that it's like this is a different